Okay, thank you. Good morning, all. In last class, we discussed half-wave rectifier, okay, diode circuits with sinusoidal input signal. Okay, already we discussed some operation also, half-wave rectifier operation. Input is a sinusoidal signal. Now, this half-wave rectifier circuit allows only one cycle. It does not allow the negative cycle, right? During positive cycle, diode D on, short circuit, V0 is equal to positive. Same output follows the input during the entire positive cycle. During negative cycle, T by T to capital T, now the diode acts as an open circuit. Okay, diode acts as an open circuit and output is equal to 0. Okay, so this is simple operation of half-wave rectifier circuit. Okay, this is simple operation. During positive cycle, diode D on, so output follows the input. We are considering the diode D is ideal diode. And during negative cycle, diode is in open circuit. Here it is an open circuit. And output is equal to 0. Here 0 output. And coming to the input and output waveforms. This is the input signal, sinusoidal input signal, right? And output consists of half-wave rectifier output consists of only positive cycles only. For entire negative cycle, output is equal to 0, right? Again, next coming positive cycle, again output follows the input. For negative cycle, output is equal to 0. For this waveform, it consists of only positive cycles, negative cycle 0. For this waveform, we calculated the DC value. The main purpose of rectifier circuit is it will convert analog signal or AC varying signal into pulse rated DC, right? Okay, here the amount of DC content available in the half-wave rectifier output is 0.318 Vm, where Vm is the peak voltage, right? And now consider the practical diode. Practical diode having a cut-in voltage 0.7 volts. Up to cut-in voltage, that means greater than 0 to less than 0.7 volt, still diode is in off condition, output is equal to 0. Now this is the waveform, practical diode, practical circuit waveform, right? Okay, already we discussed in last class. Now here there is another circuit. Okay, here the another circuit is the difference between the previous circuit and this circuit is diode is reversed. Okay, observe here diode is reversed, right? Okay, now this circuit also half-wave rectifier circuit, not half-wave rectifier always positive direction. Now this type of half-wave rectifier circuit allows only negative cycles, right? For positive cycle, what happened for positive cycle, diode open circuit, output is equal to 0. For negative cycles, diode on means it acts as a short circuit for ideal diode. Now output follows the input, right? Okay. So this is also a half-wave rectifier circuit. It allows only negative cycles. Here it is some small exercise problem. Sketch the V0 and determine the DC level of the output for the network shown in figure 2.48. So this is the circuit. For this one, this is the response. Sinusoidal input, this is the circuit. For negative cycle, it will conduct, so output follows the input. For positive cycle, it does not conduct, output is equal to 0. Remember this one. For positive cycle, diode act as a open circuit, output is equal to 0. For negative cycle, it acts as a short circuit, output follows the input. Then coming to the how much of DC content here, what is formula here? Minus 0.318 Vm. Here the Vm is equal to 20 volts. Here given in the problem, here Vm value is 20 volts. 20 into 0.318, that is equal to minus 6.36 volt, right? Your AC input amplitude is 20 volt. In 20 volts, only DC content is minus 6.36 is the DC content. Now again, what is B problem here? Repeat part A. If ideal diode is replaced by a silicon diode. Similarly, repeat part A and B. If Vm is increased to 200 volt and compare the solution using equations 2.7 and 2.8. Okay. Okay. Now come to the practical diode. Practical diode having the voltage is cut-in voltage 0.7 volt. Now how much of DC? What is DC formula here for practical case? VDC is equal to 0.318 into Vm minus Vt, where Vt is the diode cut-in voltage. For silicon, that voltage is equal to 0.7 volt, right? Here this voltage is equal to 0.7 volt. Then subtract, and now the DC content is minus 6.14 volt, right? Now what is the difference between, and previous one is 6.36, now here it is 6.14. The difference is 0.22 volt. In terms of percentage, 3.5%. Now again, third case is if Vm is increased to 20 volts to 200 volt. What is third case? If input signal is increased to, previously it is 20, now it is increased to 200 volt. Now what happened here? The result is minus 63.6 volt if it is ideal diode. Now if it is a practical diode, minus 63.38 volts, right? That means now the compare the results means, here in this case what happened here, as the AC amplitude is very large, we can neglect the 0.7 volt drop, right? That means the behavior of the circuit approximately equal to the behavior of the circuit approximately equal to the ideal diode behavior. If AC amplitude is very large compared to diode cut-in voltage. Here observe here 200 volt minus 0.7. So this is approximately equal to, right, 200. So that the value is approximately equivalent to the ideal diode values, right? Okay. Now today class we derive some of the important parameters of a rectifier circuit, right? Okay. This is the input signal. Okay, approximately it is a sinusoidal signal here. Some textbooks in x-axis theta, some textbooks in x-axis omega t, right? Okay, that is not a big problem here. Whether it is omega t or theta, that is not a big problem. Here, first of all, we calculate what is the average value or DC value for input signal. For all rectifier circuit, input is a sinusoidal input. First of all, find out the DC value or average value for sinusoidal input. What is the formula for DC or average value is equal to 1 by total time period. This is the total time period. It consists of positive cycle as well as negative cycle. Okay, this is the total time period. 1 by t, integral of 0 to t Vn into dt, where t is the time period. Then here the time period 1 by t is equal to total time period is equal to 2 pi, 1 by 2 pi, 0 to 2 pi Vm sine theta, where input is, what is input is defined as Vn is equal to Vm sine theta. Now 0 less than theta less than 2 pi. Now if we simplify this one, okay, Vm by 2 pi, then sine theta, integration of sine theta minus cos theta over an interval of 0 to 2 pi, then that will gives approximately 0. Now this one is 0. Now for input signal, DC value is equal to 0. Okay, what is DC value or average value? DC value or average value is equal to, okay, observe here, this is the x-axis. In this x-axis, above the x-axis or zero axis area is equal to below the zero axis area. If both areas are same, then we can say that average value or DC value is equal to 0. For sinusoidal input, pure sinusoidal input signal, area under the above the zero axis is equal to area under the below the zero axis. Okay, once again here, for pure sinusoidal signal, area, consider one typical time cycle, one time period, positive cycle, negative cycle. Area under the positive cycle is equal to area under the negative cycle. When both are equal, then the average value is equal to 0. For sinusoidal input, DC signal or average signal is equal to 0. Next, coming to the another important parameter, root mean square value, RMS values. Okay, RMS value is defined as under root 1 by t 0 to t Vn square into dt. Okay, and we integrate and simplify this one, and we are getting for input signal, we are calculating for this one is input signal. V capital RMS is equal to Vm by root, right? Vm by root 2. Remember this one. Okay, these are all the simple mathematical simplifications. Under root 1 by 2 pi integral 0 to 2 pi Vm sin theta whole square into dt, that is equal to Vm square by 2 pi 0 to 2 pi sin square theta d theta, then sin square theta, we can written sin square theta 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2, then simplify, and sometimes get cancelled, right? Then finally Vrms is equal to Vm by root 2. Okay, already we calculated two parameters. One is Vrms, another one is VDC. Now observe here, this is the definition. This is a basic definition valid in AC circuits. V square RMS is equal to V square RMS is equal to V square DC plus V square AC RMS. This is small AC. Remember this one. This is the AC content, RMS AC content. This is the DC content. For sinusoidal input, DC value is equal to 0. For sinusoidal input, DC value is equal to 0. Now what happened means V square capital RMS is equal to V square AC RMS. This is for input signal. Remember this one. For input sinusoidal signal, Vrms is equal to VAC RMS. Right? That means for sinusoidal input, AC RMS is equal to voltage across Vrms. Okay, now consider the same parameters, DC value or average value for half-wave rectifier circuit, right? This is the half-wave rectifier output. Already we know that half-wave rectifier output consists of either positive cycle or negative cycle depending upon the circuit. This type of waveform is resulted for this type of half-wave rectifier circuit. So this is simple diode connected like this. Okay, now this is the half-wave rectifier circuit. This circuit allows only positive cycles. output contains only positive cycles. For all negative, output is equal to 0. Okay, this is the signal. Now what is time period here? Now the time period is same. 0 to t pi is the time period, but the signal available only 0 to pi. Observe here. Here in this type of rectifier output, half-wave rectifier output, the signal available 0 to pi, but the total time period is 0 to 2 pi. Okay, it will repeats after 2 pi. Every 2 pi it will repeats. Okay, now the DC value or average value is equal to what is formula? 1 by time period 0 to t Vm sin dt. Okay, for half-wave rectifier, time period is equal to 2 pi. Remember here, 1 by 2 pi. Now this one is split into 0 to pi Vm sin theta d theta plus pi to 2 pi into 0. Now 1 by 2 pi 0 to pi Vm sin theta into d theta. Then further simplified, then again simplified, then VDC is equal to Vm by pi, right? Now this is for half-wave rectifier. This is for half-wave rectifier. Half-wave rectifier DC value is equal to Vm by pi. Okay, that is equal to 0 0.38, 0 0.318 Vm, right? In previous problems, we calculated the VDC. VDC is equal to 1 by pi. 1 by pi is equal to 0 0.318 Vm. Okay. So average value or DC value for half-wave rectifier is Vm by pi. Whereas in sinusoidal input signal, average value or DC value is equal to 0. But here not the case. Here the value is Vm by pi. Similarly, coming to the another parameter, root mean square value for half-wave rectifier output. Half-wave rectifier means, remember, this is the signal, right? It contains only either positive cycles or negative cycle. But the time period is 2 pi. This is the pi and this is 2 pi. Okay, every 2 pi the waveform repeats, and this one is the Vm. Okay, now Vrms is equal to under root 1 by t 0 to t Vm sin theta whole square into d theta. Again, these are all the mathematical simplifications. 1 by 2 pi 0 to pi Vm square sin square theta. Sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. Okay, then after simplifying the limits, and finally Vrms is equal to Vm by 2. Remember here, this is for half-wave rectifier. We are calculating the root mean square value for half-wave rectifier. Okay. Previously we derived the expression, that is DC or average value. VDC is equal to Vm by pi. Now Vrms is equal to Vm by 2, right? Okay. Now once you know the Vrms and VDC, now we are in a position to calculate the ripple factor. Okay, ripple factor indicates that how much AC content available in rectified output, right? How much ripples means variations in the output signal. How much of AC content available in the half-wave rectifier output, that is measured with respect to ripple factor. Okay, generally rectifier it will convert AC into DC. That means output contains only DC content, but it is not a perfect rectifier. It converts only single cycles. So that's why somewhat of DC components consists. AC component consists in the output. We are calculating the how much AC components available in output signal, that is a ripple factor. Okay. For AC circuits, this is the basic definition is V square RMS is equal to V square DC plus V square AC RMS. From this take compo simplification, VAC RMS square is equal to V square RMS minus V square DC. Then again you can take common here, V square DC take common, V square RMS by VD square minus 1. Again VD square come to left side here, then V square RMS by V square DC minus 1. Then VAC by VDC is equal to under root V square RMS by V square DC minus 1. For half wave rectifier, already we calculated VRMS and VDC. VRMS is equal to Vm by 2. VDC is equal to Vm by pi. VRMS is equal to Vm by 2. VDC is equal to Vm by pi. Then substitute these two equations or expressions in the above. Then that is equal to VAC RMS by VDC is equal to under root Vm by 2 by Vm by pi whole square minus 1, that is equal to under root pi square by 4 minus 1, that is equal to 1.21. Now ripple factor is defined as AC RMS by VDC. VAC RMS by VDC, that is equal to ripple factor, that is equal to 1.21. This is for half wave rectifier. That means what it indicates, from the above expression we conclude that in the output of half wave rectifier, AC component or ripple is dominated than the DC component. Remember this one. This is important point, right? VAC by VDC is equal to 1.21. That indicates what it indicates? AC component greater than DC component, right? That means half wave rectifier output consists of AC components. These components are greater than the DC components. Remember this one, right? Every rectifier output consists of AC components, but coming to the half wave rectifier, AC component dominating than the DC component. That's why you are getting greater than 1, 1.21. 1 greater than 1 means AC component greater than DC component. Okay. Another important parameter is efficiency of half wave rectifier. Okay, what is the efficiency? Conversion efficiency for half wave rectifier. That is equal to, here the formula is DC power delivered to the load by RMS power. DC power delivered to the load by RMS power into 100. That is equal to P DC power by P RMS, where P is equal to power, right? Now power is equal to V square by R. Now V square DC by R. R means load resistor RL. Similarly, P RMS is equal to, RMS power is equal to V square RMS by RL. Already we calculated VDC and VRMS for half wave rectifiers. Efficiency is equal to VDC by VRMS whole square. Then simplify and final expression is 2 by pi whole square into 100, that is equal to 40.6%. So the efficiency, the conversion efficiency, AC to DC conversion efficiency of a rectifier is very, very poor. That is less than 50%. That value is calculated value is equal to 40.6, right? Okay, this is the important parameter of half wave rectifier efficiency. The efficiency, this is ideal efficiency. Ideal efficiency is equal to 40.6% only. Coming to the practical, you are getting less than 40% efficiency. Here efficiency is nothing but conversion. How half-wave rectifier convert AC signal into DC signal? How much efficiency? Efficiency is only 40%. That is ideal case. Coming to the practical case, that value is less than 40%. Okay. Now another important parameter in rectifier circuit is PIV or PRV. What is PIV? Peak inverse voltage or peak reverse voltage. PRV. Okay. Okay. This is the rating of the diode is primary importance in the design of rectification system. Right? Okay. This is the while designing a rectifier circuit, you must consider the PIV or PRV. Okay, what is peak inverse voltage or what is peak reverse voltage? Recall that it is the voltage rating that must not exceeded in the reverse bias region or the diode will enter into the Zener or avalanche region. Observe here, this is simple half-wave rectifier circuit, right? When diode is in open circuit, how much voltage across this diode? This voltage never cross the breakdown voltage of the diode. Remember this one. Okay. You must apply the input signal such a way that this input cannot cross the or cannot enter the diode into breakdown region. Breakdown also exists in normal diodes also, but the range is very high, right? At higher voltages in reverse bias, there is a possibility normal diode also enter into breakdown, then it will damage the circuit, right? That means when the diode is in reverse bias, calculate the diode voltage. If this diode voltage always less than the diode breakdown voltage, right? Okay. Now here, observe here, recall that it is the voltage rating that must not exceeded in the reverse bias region of the diode will enter into the Zener or avalanche. The required PIV rating of the half-wave rectifier is determined using the figure. How to determine the PIV rating means this is simple half-wave circuit and replace the diode with open circuit. Diode operated in reverse bias and calculate that when diode is in reverse bias, what happened? There is no drop across this resistor. I is equal to 0. Then voltage across this diode is nothing but PIV, that is equal to Vm. This is for half-wave rectifier. For half-wave rectifier, PIV is equal to Vm, where Vm is the peak input voltage. Okay, secondary side, this is the transformer secondary peak input signal. Okay. Or otherwise apply KVL to the loop or apply Kirchhoff law. You can find the PIV rating must equal or exceed the peak value of the applied voltage. Okay. This is about PIV rating. How to calculate the PIV? PIV calculated in half-wave rectifier circuit when diode is in reverse bias. When diode is in reverse bias, apply KVL to the loop. Or otherwise, by observing the circuit itself, current is equal to 0. There is no drop across this resistor. Now it will act as a simple short circuit. Now this voltage here, this is plus and this is minus, and this voltage across diode is equal to Vm. Okay, and this voltage, and you must choose such a way that this voltage does not exceed the diode breakdown voltage. Okay, here we are applying Vm, so that Vm, we may apply greater than Vm also, but the condition is this voltage less than breakdown region. Observe here. Voltage, recall that it is the voltage rating that must not exceeded in the reverse bias region or diode enter into Zener breakdown region. there are another few parameters. One is the form factor. Form factor is equal to VRMS value by VDC value. Okay, all these are all for half wave rectifier only, right? Vm by 2, Vm by pi, Vm get cancelled, then pi by 2, that is equal to 1.57. Similarly, peak factor is equal to peak value by RMS value. Peak value is equal to Vm, RMS value is equal to Vm by 2, that is equal to 2. Then what is the output frequency of half wave rectifier? Half wave rectifier output frequency is equal to input frequency of the rectifier. So that half wave rectifier output frequency is equal to input frequency. Why? Because what is here? This is the, sorry, observe here. It is just slow. Okay. This is somewhat input signal, sinusoidal signal. Now coming to the half wave rectifier output, it consists only positive cycle and it does not consist negative cycle. But what about time period here? Time period still is same. Time period is still same. Okay. Time period is same, so that frequency also same, right? Observe the input and output waveforms. Input signal consists of positive cycle as well as negative cycle, whereas half wave rectifier consists of either positive cycle or negative cycle, but the time period still is same time period. The time period is same, so that frequency is equal to same. What is the relation between time period and frequency? Time period T is equal to 1 by F. Time period T is equal to 1 by F. So the time period is same for input signal as well as output signal. So that frequency also same for half wave rectifiers. Okay, next another one is transformer utilization factor. TUF, transformer utilization factor. Okay, for half wave rectifier. Okay, what is the value of transformer utilization factor? Okay, that is equal to output power PDC by and input power. This input power is for secondary transformer. This is for transformer values. VRMS. Sorry, this is for secondary of the transformer. PDC power delivered to the output power delivered by input power. Input power means transformer secondary power. VRMS into IRMS. VRMS into IRMS. Already we know power P is equal to V square by RL. What is DC power? Vm by pi whole square by R. Now VRMS secondary terminals. VRMS is equal to Vm by root 2. Similarly, IRMS for secondary terminal of the transformer is Im by 2. Then that is equal to, again Im is equal to Vm by load resistor Rl. So IRMS and into VRMS, that is equal to Vm square by 2 root 2 into Rl. Right? Now here transformer utilization factor is equal to Vm by pi, that is equal to DC power Vm by pi whole square by RL divided by VRMS into IRMS, that is equal to Vm square by 2 root 2 into RL. Then RL get cancelled and VM also get cancelled. Then finally 2 into root 2 by pi square. Then that is equal to 0.287. Very, very poor. So transformer utilization factor for half-wave rectifier is only 0.3. Okay, worst case we can say that 0.3, 0.287. Okay, so that very, very poor. Okay. Another parameter is percentage regulation for half-wave rectifier. And sometimes calculate the percentage regulation. If the percentage regulation formula is that is equal to percentage regulation is equal to, okay, the regulation indicates how the DC voltage varies as a function of DC load current, right? How the DC voltage varies as a function of DC load current. In general, the percentage of regulation for ideal power supply is 0, right? The percentage regulation is defined as V no load minus V full load by V full load into 100, right? So VD is Vm by pi minus IDC into RF, where RF is the diode forward resistance. Okay, we are considering the practical diode. Practical diode having a resistance RF, so that so DC is equal to VDC is equal to Vm by pi minus IDC into RF. Now it is the no load. When there is no load connected to the circuit, so that no load value is equal to Vm by pi, and full load is equal to Vm by pi minus IDC into RF, right? This is for full load, Vm by pi minus IDC into RF. This is for no load, Vm by pi. Now substitute the condition here. Percentage of regulation, that is equal to Vm by pi minus Vm by pi plus IDC into RF. Then simplify. Then again simplify here. Then substitute the IDC value. IDC is equal to Vm by pi RF plus RL, right? Then simplify. Then finally percentage regulation is equal to RF by RL into 100. Okay, in half-wave rectifier circuit, percentage of regulation mainly depends upon RF by RL. What is ideal value? Ideal value is 0. So this is for ideal power supply, percentage of regulation is 0. But here for half-wave rectifier circuit, percentage of regulation mainly depends upon RF by RL into 100. RF not equal to RL, right? Okay, here it is some small problem. If the problem here is a half-wave rectifier circuit, specifications are 15 volts and 100 milliamperes. That is the no load voltage is 15 volts. Okay, here the condition here is no load voltage when there is no load connected, or simply load is open circuited. No load means simply remove the RL, right? That is called the no load. There is no load is connected to the circuit. So at that time output voltage is equal to no load voltage is equal to 15 volt, and maximum load current, that is equal to 100 milliamperes. And if the values of a given RF plus RS, where RS sometimes RS, a given RS is the secondary winding transformer resistance. Okay, where RF is the diode forward resistance. Diode forward resistance RF. RF is the secondary winding resistance. Okay, total value is given 25 volts. Now observe here, no load voltage 15 volts. Then you have to calculate the full load voltage. What is full load voltage? No load voltage minus, this is the drop. Im into RF, but a given RS also. Im into RF plus RS. That is equal to 12.5 volts. Okay. Now percentage regulation is no load minus full load by full load. Okay, 15 minus 12.5 by 12.5, that is equal to 20%. Okay, this is the percentage of regulation in of a rectifier greater than 0. Okay, very much greater than 0. For ideal case it is 0, but here we are getting only very much greater than 0, 20%. Right? Okay, these are all the parameters of a rectifier circuits. How many students are there? 95 students are there, right? Okay. So all these parameters are calculated for coming circuits like full wave rectifier circuit. Similarly, bridge rectifier circuit, right? Okay. Once again, here the regulation is no load minus full load by full load into 100. Just we briefly recap all these parameters. Okay. Here, observe here. First, we calculated the DCR average value for input signal, that is equal to 0. DC value is equal to 0. Our average value is equal to 0. Then RMS is equal to Vm by root 2. These two are for input signals. These two are for input signals. Now for a half wave rectifier circuit. For half wave rectifier circuit, first we calculated the average power or DC power, that is equal to Vm by pi. Then RMS, that is equal to Vm by 2. Once we know the VDC and VRMS, we can calculate remaining all parameters, right? First thing is calculate DC average voltage or DC voltage or RMS voltage or root mean square voltage. Once we know the VDC and VRMS, we can easily calculate remaining parameters. Ripple factor 1.21. Right? That means AC component dominating DC component. Then similarly, efficiency is equal to only 40%, 40.6%. And PIV is Vm. These are all the parameters, right? Form factor 1.57, peak factor 2, and output frequency is equal to input frequency. And transformer utilization factor is 0.287. And the percentage of regulation is RF by RL, right? And given a small problem is equal to 20%, right? Okay. This is about half wave rectifier circuits. If you have any doubts, please mention in comment section, right? Okay, thank you for joining. Thank you all.